Oswald Peraza and Spencer Steer have been called up. What does it all mean? Let's talk about it on Fantasy Baseball today in 5. Welcome into FBT in 5. As always, make sure to follow and stream us on Spotify. Today is Saturday, September 3rd. I am Frank Stanfield, joined by Scott White, and let's talk about those two prospects. Oswald Peraza joined the Yankees on Friday. Just a heads up, we're recording this Thursday night, so if either of these players do anything awesome on Friday or get hurt on Friday, just know we're recording this in advance. Oswald Peraza in the minors this season, batting .259, 19 homers, 33 steals. Spencer Steer, a little bit of a different prospect, Scott, .274 batting average, more pop than Peraza, 23 home runs and .879 OPS. Both are widely available. How do you feel about each, and which one are you prioritizing if you can only choose one?
If I can only choose one, it's Peraza. He is going to be one of the higher profile prospects we see called up in September. He's not on the level of Corbin Carroll or Gunnar Henderson. And if we do see Josh Young get called up, he's not quite on that level either. But Oswald Peraza wouldn't be that far behind. You read off his numbers for the full season. Got off to a really rough start. Over his last 45 games at AAA, Oswald Peraza hit .299 with 11 homers, 18 steals, a .908 OPS. And again, that's in 45 games. So you do that 150 game pace. That's like better than a 30 homer, 50 steal pace, right? There's power and speed here. And it seems like there's an opening for him at shortstop with Isaiah Kiner-Falefa struggling all year. They probably will have to control his at-bats because they wouldn't want him to use up rookie eligibility. They would want him to be in the mix to potentially score them more draft picks beginning next year, and using up rookie eligibility would prevent that. So may not play quite every day, but anywhere where you have an extra middle infield spot to fill, anywhere where you just need help at shortstop, I would say Oswald Peraza is somebody to pick up. Spencer Steer is interesting. He's been a riser among the prospect ranks this year. Has had pretty good power production between AA and AAA, between the Twins organization and the Reds organization. Kind of reminds me of Jonathan India in that he gets on base at a pretty good clip, and doesn't have like a lot of like natural power, but he's good at elevating the ball and pulling it, and that helps him get more home runs. Obviously going to play in the most homer-friendly park in baseball and should play a lot. So Spencer Steer, I don't think is somebody you need to rush out and add in most leagues, but definitely somebody to keep an eye on.
Other impact prospects that we could see in September include Josh Young, who you already mentioned, the Red Sox first base prospect Triston Casas, Grayson Rodriguez, Sal Frelick with the Brewers, and Mark Vientos with the Mets. Two names here, Scott, I really want to focus on. Triston Casas, I feel like he's been heating up recently. You could tell me if I'm right or wrong about that. And then Grayson Rodriguez, do you think we actually could see him this season? What do you think?
Yes, to answer your second question first, because that's usually how it goes. I do think we could see Grayson Rodriguez this season. He did just make his first rehab start after being out, I believe, 3 months with the strained lat. He was supposed to get called up about the same time as Adley Rutschman, but then he strained his lat, so that delayed it. He only went an inning and a third, I believe, in that first rehab start. Obviously has to build up again, but he says he expects to start every fifth day to finish out the season. And he should have time to stretch out and still maybe make 3-4 starts for the Orioles if they want to go that route. And right now they're fighting for a playoff spot, so maybe so. It's also possible they don't stretch him out fully and instead call him up as a reliever, which wouldn't be as good for fantasy purposes. But I think we need to be open to the idea that the best pitching prospect in baseball gets called up, as happened very late last year for Shane Baz with the Rays. Let's see, who else? Triston Casas has missed much of the year with an ankle injury and has started to pick up the production lately. The power hasn't been there, but just a really good all-around hitter, good on base skills, good bat skills, and limited that he can only play first base. But as the Red Sox fall out of it, they may want to. He's at an age where like it makes sense for him to make the opening day roster next year, so they may want to audition him here a little bit early. Mark Vientos, keep an eye on this guy. Big power hitter for the Mets, primarily a third baseman. He's been at AAA all year, so it was interesting that they chose to call up Brett Beatty over him. Beatty had barely shown up at AAA, but Beatty's out for the year now. So if they decide they need more third base help, Mark Vientos makes a lot of sense. He's another player who got off to a really bad start, but since May 1st, batting .308 with 22 homers and a .961 OPS. Does strike out a lot, but the power's legit. And the Mets possibly have a need there.
Yeah. We know Brett Beatty got hurt recently. He's got a torn UCL in his thumb. He's going to miss the rest of the season. Eduardo Rodriguez hasn't been great, so I think it's a good call, a name to watch there, Mark Vientos. For more extensive fantasy baseball coverage, listen to the Fantasy Baseball Today podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, your smart speakers, or anywhere else podcasts are found. And thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. We'll be back again on Tuesday morning. Bye-bye.